This is the Iron Manager, JT Davidson, and you're listening to STF Underground.
It's
MME.
Whoop-de-ding-dong!
Welcome to In the Mind of Mr. Main Event. I am Mr. Main Event, but you can call me Sasha. I'm a lifelong wrestling fan who's gone through many phases of fandom, including being a smart mark, a backyard wrestler, a trained professional wrestler, and now I'm back doing what I love, sitting back, watching, and being a fan of my favorite kind of entertainment, professional wrestling. The landscape in wrestling is starting to change. Some wrestlers are signing exclusive deals with companies, some are asking for their releases, some are getting fired, and some are feeling trapped for signing their current contracts before they got the announcement of AEW's formation. Any way you look at it, parts are moving and the wheels are in motion for interesting names to start showing up in new places. Recently, in the WWE, there have been lots of rumors and speculation that people are unhappy and would like to leave the company. Today we ask the question: who would benefit most from asking for their release from the WWE? Since All Elite Wrestling was announced in January, the idea of having another era of wrestling wars has really been exciting. Having some of the biggest names in wrestling added to their roster, along with the backing of a billionaire and rumors of a major TV deal, have me starting to reminisce about the WWF-WCW Wrestling Wars era. Although I favored the number 3 company back then, ECW, I watched every show from every Fed because it was must-watch television. You didn't know who was going to be jumping ship, who would shoot on the other companies, and the uncertainty of it all was... Well, in the past few weeks, there have been some names thrown around from wrestlers who are unhappy. Sasha Banks, The Revival, The Usos, they've all been rumored to be unhappy, and subsequently were all given title belts in hopes of getting them to re-sign with the WWE. Hideo Itami and Ty Dillinger were both released last week, and Dean Ambrose is on his way out as well. And while we don't exactly know what's going on with Dean, I found it interesting in his interview on the Major Wrestling Brothers podcast when he said that some people are just in the WWE for money and not because they love the industry. I wonder if that love of the industry, which is clearly seen with Cody and the Young Bucks, is something that's really appealing to the wrestlers who are faced with these tough decisions. In the meantime, the WWE remains the absolute number 1 company in pro wrestling. So in order to ask for a release, you must really be unhappy in your position with the company. I started to try to think of names of guys who might be unhappy with not only their position in the company, but with how the WWE has been run over the past couple of years. Here's 4 guys who I think might benefit most from asking for a release, and to be perfectly honest, guys that I just want to see in different companies. When Bray Wyatt is active, I don't know anyone who's seemingly been more important, yet has had such little success. He seems to be in a lot of major storylines, but never on the winning end. He did have one very short stint as WWE Champion back in 2017, but he hasn't been very successful since. Bray has such an interesting character, a great entrance that still gives me goosebumps, and good matches, and yet every time he seems to get to a certain level, he loses and then kind of disappears. Now, it's not always the WWE's fault. Bray's been injured and sick, and things happen, so maybe a fresh start would be beneficial. But then again, wherever he would end up, he'd probably have to start with a new gimmick, a new name, start from scratch, and that could be really scary. For the sake of this segment, I'll say that at this time, with wrestling as big as it is, he would excel somewhere else and benefit from a fresh start.
Rusev Udria, Rusev Machka.
In my opinion, there's no one more entertaining who keeps getting pushed further down than Rusev. He's had to reinvent himself over and over again and has proved to be a fan favorite. Now, he would have a lot more to think about before asking for his release, since him and Lana are married, and they do get their opportunities to shine on occasion in the WWE. But I do think that if Rusev left, specifically to go to AEW if they wanted him, he could be a huge star, and I would hope that they would use him as such.
The last thing that we need is an N-E-R-D nerd!
I love the Good Brothers, and I want to see more of the Good Brothers. And with their connection with guys who wrestled a lot in New Japan, like the guys over at AEW, I think they'd be a great addition to the AEW tag division, and wouldn't get lost in the shuffle like they do in the WWE. You know, the WWE, where they give real tag teams a chance to shine, like Shane McMahon and The Miz.
Come on, what are you, an idiot?
For my 4th name, I wanted to be selfish and pick someone that I just wanted to see leave the WWE, like Shinsuke Nakamura, Kevin Owens, or Sami Zayn. but I'm going to go with Tyler Breeze. I pick him because unlike those other guys, he hasn't really had much success in the WWE. Him and Fandango have had some good TV time with the Fashion Files promos, but they haven't really been able to stick. I like the character of Tyler Breeze. I didn't follow NXT that much when he was there, but I've heard great things about him. And in the limited time he's been given on the main roster, I do think he can wrestle. I think he's someone whose career can be rejuvenated with a fresh start, making him a singles guy, and letting him have some decent time to have matches. So those are the guys that I think could benefit from asking for a release from the WWE. Who did I miss? Contact me on Twitter at NoBigWeevils. That's NoBigWeevils.
Like what you heard? New episodes drop every week. If you want more content, follow us on Facebook at STF Underground Podcast or on Twitter and Instagram at STF Underground.